It bothers my soul when people fail to realize how exactly it is that technology progresses. Roasting folks for not being able to read analog clocks is like roasting someone for not knowing how to send a fax. Pop quiz. When was the last time that you saw an analog clock in a place that you were visiting? Matter of fact, every time you check the time this week, I want you to see whether or not you're using a digital instrument or an analog instrument to do so. Then I want you to count how many of those analog instruments are available versus how many of those digital instruments are available. Then report back to this comment section with exactly what you found. Because the last time I checked, at least in the school system that my children attend, they're still teaching kids how to read analog clocks. The problem is there's not a large availability of analog clocks, at least from what I've seen. That plus the majority of us have a clock on our phones, which is typically in our back pocket. Matter of fact, I went to Nigeria 2 weeks ago? Not a lot of analog clocks, but you know what there was? Phones. So when I asked, hey, what time is it? Nobody was looking at an analog clock and figuring out, oh, well, the 9 times 5 is this. No, they pull their phone out their back pocket and go, oh, it's 3:23. Now, I'm not saying it's not beneficial to teach people how to use analog systems. Because you never know, shit might hit the fan and the only thing we'll be able to have is that one solar-powered clock that only has a 12-hour clock face on it. But do that as some kind of technological historical studies or something like that. Don't hold that as a baseline when nobody is using those things anymore. That's just dumb. That's like these posts that I see where people are like, oh, nobody knows how to read script anymore. Yeah, because the majority of people are utilizing phones. They're utilizing keyboards. They're utilizing things that don't involve handwriting per se. Now, that doesn't mean that we should throw away handwriting, but we probably are going to have to make it so that handwriting becomes something that we actually use again. And then it'll be something that people will be interested in learning how to read. I just need people to account for the fact that humans are very simple creatures, in that they are only going to learn what they have to in order to survive. Anything beyond that is a special interest, and it has to be incentivized for anybody to even do it. Like, the only reason I know about the Dewey Decimal System is because at the time when I was growing up, we had to in order to know how to research books. But now through the power of Google, that shit's been filed away in core memories along with fresh goes better, Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. Mentos, the fresh maker.